Hello, this is Jeff Bull with the Landing Commission. It is January 17th, and I am calling the meeting to order. At this point, let's talk about the Point parking lot. Yes, sir.
I'm okay with the north side, what we've discussed there. What are you suggesting towards the Haynes property? To extend that asphalt even more past his anchor, to go right to the property line?
I feel like aesthetically, we ought to stop short of this building.
Yeah, I think so.
Bingo.
Yeah, but I feel like, I mean, certainly if the wheel stop was at the edge of the asphalt,
Where it is now.
no, was, if we lay in another, I
4
don't
feet,
know how
3 or
many-
4 feet.
Let's say it's 8 feet off the building right now. Maybe we figure it out, we go down there, we look at it, we think about it, we take pictures, we kind of go, okay, we're gonna be clear about where the boundary is. The wheel stop is gonna be right on top of the edge of the asphalt, which is gonna be, let's say, 5 feet from the building instead of the 9 feet it is now or something. With the understanding that, yeah, but we own 2 feet beyond that. And if you wanna keep mowing that, well, that's up to you.
Yeah.
I think is some extent, I don't wanna completely crowd the guy.
Yeah, and I think aesthetically, we've got enough pavement there now.
Yeah,
It's gonna look like Walmart if we go any further.
Yeah.
right, but I don't know what we can do at this point, given what's happened, and it feels like it's wrong just to give up all that property.
Oh, no, I'm not suggesting give it up.
I think, I don't know what we can use that little piece of property for, but I agree with not putting any more pavement down. It'd be very expensive to do that, to bring in the fill that you'd need and to grade it and to compact it, and it would be expensive to add any more pavement. But we could do the fence, either the rail fence or at the correct location, and put the wheel stops in that location right at the edge of the pavement, because it's okay if the front of your car hangs beyond your wheels, because it's not doing anything.
But
except
we're
for-
still giving up quite a bit of property if we do what you're suggesting.
No, we're gonna still put the fence up on the property line.
Right, but we're giving up parking spaces, I think.
We might be
Maybe a
losing
second
some
line.
parking places, but what if we put the fence along this line, pretty much, close to that? And what you're saying is there's like 5 feet between there and the edge of the pavement. If we put the wheel stops in, what if we put in that 5-foot space, a couple of benches or something? Or a picnic table or a picnic table and a bench or something, or a couple of benches.
Yeah.
People love to go down there and look at the
Eat.
boats and the water
Yeah.
and so forth.
Yeah.
And
The
just,
oyster place will love that idea. The oyster place will love that idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
True.
you mean because they're customers?
Yeah,
Their
their
customers will
who
go
take
over.
out-
Grab and go.
Yeah.
And then we've got a public drinking problem.
no, they can't leave the,
Yeah,
They
they-
don't drink,
And they're-
can't leave, then
they're
they'll
very
tell you,
strict
they
about
tell
that.
you that,
yeah, you can't leave the wharf area with that.
Right.
But somebody could go over and grab,
And bring their own beer. But I'm not that concerned about that. Anyhow, so
I like that idea.
So what we really need to do is I need to get a large version of this, and we need to have a field trip down there
Yeah.
to figure this out.
yeah.
Right, get the real survey plan,
Right. And then
copy
we
of
need to go
that,
down
that
there.
will probably have the house
But
edges
I
on
will
it.
put Jim on notice that we need to be we're not happy about what's happened, and we need to be involved in any further action down there.
Right. I
And
think maybe even a letter,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think formally.
to the Board of Selectmen, yeah, that there needs to be discussion. Moving right along here, we're going to item 1 on the agenda, Hicksbridge Landing Update. Ryan DuPont will soon have a plan for how far they've gotten. He has sent us the test boring log and the survey. As you can see on the survey, we've got a major issue
Yeah.
that that sort of, I'm not sure it's trapezoidal, but you can see where the exit to the landing is all on the Masons' property.
Going up the hill.
Yep.
We thought it was partially on the basis.
Yeah, I mean, if you drive by there, you'll see two stakes with orange flags. It's the one in the east is like the boundary.
Wow.
So I think that I'm not sure exactly what agreement there has been with the Masons, but I think we need to approach them and say, can we talk about this? And be open to the possibility of some kind of concessions to them, that they can use it for parking
Well-
when they have events or.
Some
Other
concessions
discussion.
to them?
The person,
Us concessions to them? Wouldn't they be giving us some concessions?
they own the
No,
land.
They're giving us the driveway.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
what I'm saying is that we may have to give them something.
Oh, I see, okay. And, okay.
So you're not sure on the history
Definitely,
of
we
it.
have to do something.
I don't know if
I
there's.
would like to make a suggestion.
Yeah,
Russ Hart, who was a highway surveyor and selectman, and
right?
he's in his 90s. He's still with it. He's up on Sanford Road.
Oh, really?
You might want to talk to
He's
him.
with it, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might want to talk to him because
Well,
I think he
Are
was.
you comfortable speaking with him?
Yeah,
Could
he's
you
very
talk to him?
familiar with the landing itself, the ramp, when that was put in.
Right.
That was in the late 60s, early 70s, I think.
Well,
And,
could you
uh,
speak with him?
Yeah,
And then we can figure out, do we need to, what kind of formal meeting do we need to have?
right. And he might be able to shed some light on what kind of a deal or whatever.
Original agreement was?
Yeah, for the road going up, the exit road going up the hill
Right.
there.
There may even be paperwork, but I don't want to start digging through file cabinets
Yeah.
because it's not even our landing. We're doing all of this for the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
This isn't even our thing.
They own most of the land.
So yeah, could you speak with him? That would be great.
All right.
And then, does anyone have any particular contacts with leadership at the Masons?
Not I.
Don't know who they are.
I sent you some information, didn't I, a while
Right.
back?
Masonic Temple.
Yeah, and I think the
Yeah.
ex-assistant
Yeah.
police chief is a Mason. I
Yeah,
think
John Gifford.
John is, and then also the ex-assistant fire
Sam
chief.
Manley.
Yeah,
Yep,
so I think those,
they both are.
yeah. So, but why don't we start with
I'll
Russ?
give him a call tomorrow.
Yeah, and then we can go,
But I thought I had gotten a
Be a
couple
good
other
excuse to go out and have
contacts.
a
you may
martini.
well
with
have.
him.
If I can
Have to
find
do it
that
at 4
email,
o'clock
I'll
in the
forward it to
afternoon.
you again.
Good
Okay.
time to start.
Great. So that needs to be resolved.
Did he bring up anything else that is of significant concern?
I haven't actually spoken with him. He sent us this thing. He mentioned that there was a lot of silt. And I don't know if there's silt everywhere in the river or if they noted that because that's potentially runoff from the parking lot that we can remove. He did make a point about, oh, a lot of silt.
Whole river's full of it.
Well, I know, but we want to be thinking it's removable silt because it's
Yeah.
runoff,
From the gravel pit.
yes, from the,
From the parking lot.
Well, that was a gravel pit years ago.
I know,
Yeah,
but
and from the
but
parking
more
lot
recently
now.
from the parking lot. So
Yeah.
because that's happening, we're going to do the environmental thing and take that out of the river because it shouldn't really be there.
Okay.
And that allows us not to have chain falls on floats. That's the big deal, avoiding chain falls on the floats. So, we can potentially have Ryan come to our next meeting. Jim Hartnett was concerned that they not go too far with this before we've reviewed what they've done. So I will get to Ryan, and I'm sure he'll have something on paper that I'll forward to you, and then we can decide, is a meeting in 4 weeks adequate? Do we need him here? And then my item 3 on the agenda is at what point, because we have to have public comments, so I have to have a public comment meeting. And I'm not sure whether, I guess we have to publish in the newspaper or something, a drawing of what we're beginning to think about, and then give people a certain amount of notice, so then the public can come here and tell us what they think. So,
I would think we'd have some sort of a conceptual there. I mean,
Yeah.
even a sketch, not necessarily even.
yeah, I'm just imagining that that might be 6 or 8 weeks away, but I just want people to be thinking that that's gonna
Yeah.
happen. And I know there's been mixed feelings about exactly how to do that, whether we just invite, I think we have to invite the general public, but do we particularly have to reach out to the Shellfish Commission and Harbor Advisory, since they're representatives of that?
I would think we should,
Yeah,
I would
Yep.
think if you got their buy-in, it
right.
yeah.
All right. Number 4, I don't know if we stopped talking about the picnic bench, but we're all a go on that, so I will try to get some prices together for our next meeting.
And maybe if there's, if we might want to find out if there's a discount if you buy 2 of them, if we were thinking of one.
Oh,
I
Yep.
mean, just for FYI at this point.
yep.
Do they come with a trash barrel or?
No trash barrel. Because then someone has to
Pack it in, pack it
So-
out.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no trash barrel.
There's no trash barrels in Australia. Everything's in and out, bring it in and out, and it's very clean too. It really works really well. All their national parks, that's the way it is.
and we're gonna chain this picnic table to the ground somehow, right?
I think there's a chance it could disappear.
Yeah, yeah. Put a mooring,
They're pretty heavy.
put a cement block mooring in and run a turnbuckle down
Well,
to
I
it.
guess, yeah, we could
Is the
screw.
one at the head?
If we keep getting
buckle
high
down?
tides, they'll float
I
away.
think so. The head one hasn't disappeared,
Yeah.
I don't think. But we could put some spikes in the ground, I'm sure. But, I mean, could make it hard to remove,
Right. Just make it a little more difficult.
right? Okay. If you drive by the head, take a look at, I think we chose, before all of your time here, beige, because it wouldn't get hot to sit on and stuff. It has soiled a little bit. I don't know if it's goose poop or what it is.
I've never seen any geese at the picnic table, but
They fly.
Sequel.
So we may want to think about something a little bit darker. That's all I'm saying.
maybe it's better if you see it before you sit.
Well, that's a good point.
Egrets and swans are the worst.
Yeah. All right. So we've taken care of item 6, the Eagle Scout. And so, I'm sorry, I did not make notes about the point in the paving. We'll try to organize, I think before we speak with them about how do you feel about the asphalt, we should go down there, get some bounds in the ground.
Get some idea of what
All right,
what
so I
grass
will
is
try to
left there,
get-
and
I mean, I'm really sorry we didn't do
We'll bring a
this.
tape measure.
Yeah,
yeah, and
Okay.
Sean's plan.
right. Just quick update on Adamsville Landing and the Emma Trip. I drive by Emma Trip. It seems to have survived the storm.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's all the same. There's a little bit of a gully through it, but I'm not sure it's worth doing anything about that. It's very rare that anyone rolls a trailer down there. So my sense is just to leave it. As far as Adamsville, I actually have not been over there since the storm.
I haven't been since the storm either.
It breached in about 5 places on Atlantic Avenue,
Yeah,
towards the Cockies Pond.
Right.
But the breaches were only about that wide.
right. So does anyone drive over that way? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go deliver my Christmas tree to the
Coats?
composting place at the land trust place, so I can go take a look at it, see how it survived. The paperwork, we did get the check. Or actually, our attorney is holding the check until things are certified at the
Recorded. at the registry.
recorded, and then he will forward the check. I'm not sure whether it's made out to the town or Westport or the Landing Commission, and how we deal with the accounting about that.
I was gonna say, is it supposed to be the landing commission funds, or is legal fees have to?
I said that, yeah, comes to the Landing Commission, but, you know, they paved Westport Point too, so they said not to do that. So I'm not sure who the check got made to. But it certainly seems fair to pay some legal fees out of it, to me.
I would think so.
Hmm?
I would think so.
I would think that that check should probably come into the landing commission, and then whatever the portion is, we can just switch it over to the general fund or the
Right.
payment,
But if it's made to the town of Westport, then what do we do?
deposit it to the town, because the landing commission account is under town of Westport.
Okay, so you have a way of dealing with that.
We do.
Thank you.
That's easy.
So, so do we need to speak with Jim Hartnett?
We'd need to know how much the fees would be, or the portion of
So
fees.
can
or
you-
that we're gonna-
Say, anticipating the delivery of the check, Jim, what do we owe you for lawyers?
Gotcha.
Great.
Hopefully it's not more than a check.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, we got money.
Maybe you should phrase it, what do we do with the leftover?
Item 8, I want us to start thinking about leases now and what's a reasonable increase. And also, Atterbury had requested a 5-year lease instead of an annual lease. And at some point, does it make sense, particularly with Atterbury, to lift a lot of the text out of the 30-page watershed lease instead of our simple little one-page that we give to people every year? So you all have copies, I think, of the one-pager, and I can send copies of the watershed lease.
That's already established, right?
The watershed lease?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
but-
amount for the next 5 or 10 or 20
Right, and the
years,
reason I
whatever.
mentioned the watershed lease is we spent God knows how much legal money developing that, and there's things in that about our responsibility and their responsibility that may be appropriate for some of our other tenants also. But on the other hand, this simple little lease has been working, particularly if it goes for 5 years. I think we're going to have to be thinking about, if we assume there's a certain percent increase every year, is that tied to the cost of living? Do we figure out what it is now and have it be the same for the next 5 years? You know what I mean? So it's average now.
And that would be Atterbury and the kayak shop and what, anything else?
It's just Atterbury and the kayak shop at this
Okay,
point.
okay.
Is that property assessed like all the other properties in town?
Yes.
In terms of when they do it?
Yes.
I mean, could you tie the escalators to whatever the town's doing in terms of increased assessment rates?
Except that it's neighborhood-based. In other words, the town can go up 2.5%, but last year my taxes went down.
Actually, the
Lucky you.
2.5% is
You're
the
welcome.
total.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Your gains, my loss.
People don't get it about real estate taxes. It has to do with your neighborhood. So tying it to the assessment, you'd have to, because they would reassess those properties also. It's,
All properties are reassessed.
yeah,
The 2.5% has nothing to do with the
But-
particular tax bill, it's of the total
but
levy.
do they
of the
assess
town.
the landing properties? No.
They will, in theory, they're supposed to assess all properties, including exempt. I don't know as if the exempt properties are really looked at closely.
That's what I'm saying, it's a crummy little value.
Um,
It's like nothing.
But
But we're dealing
but
with
it's
all
the-
waterfront
it's the
properties.
land.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's the land, it's the site,
It's,
believe me.
Right, I'm not-
We're dealing with all waterfront
changed
properties.
a lot of, because
That's
that.
what- 'cause it escalated right into your
200, I don't think they had it correct. They were billing them for like 200 square feet at one point. too.
Right, well,
Of land? or
I
of-
guess we just need to come to some logic
That's
about
smaller than the
what's,
septic system.
what's fair. And we expect them to be there forever, we just can't give them a forever lease. And they are paying, oddly enough, they are paying some taxes on property they don't even own now, because the town can charge them taxes. So I will try to get some history to you about what we have been charging. And we've been going up every year. We went up a lot when I first came to the Landing Commission, because I looked at it and I was like, this is really like nothing. So we can sort of, but for the last few years, we've been staying with the escalator sort of from the previous year.
What I'll do is also get copies of the tax bills for the two properties.
Yeah. Why not tie it to the increase in their other property that they are paying taxes on? Whatever that goes up, our lease goes up.
That's just the building. The building.
What is just a building?
No,
They don't have any, Adbury effectively doesn't own any.
I thought they had a little square out of that
they
whole.
did, but they are gonna be paying taxes. I believe they're paying taxes on the land also.
They're paying taxes on our land, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
they
thought,
technically own only the building, but the
They-
land,
yeah. And same thing with the kayak shop. They pay taxes on our land.
that's law.
Yeah.
That
So
they pay on
we'll
our
we'll
land.
just look at it and figure out what seems reasonable. I personally have always given the kayak shop a little bit of a break in my head, because to me, it's valuable to them, to us, to have them keeping track of who's on the river, because they tend to do that for more than just their renters. That if they see somebody
Yeah, but it's,
with a canoe about to go in and do something stupid, they usually say something. So we have fewer calls to the harbor master to go rescue somebody. So I sleep better at night. And I think it's good to have people use the river. I think that. So, yeah. That's about all I have, unless someone has other business not anticipated time of the meeting. And were you able to dig out your minutes from the previous?
no, I stopped digging,
Okay.
The Emmett trip review was gonna.
but I've got them on my computer, so I will forward those as well as these, and then we'll have those both sets. Nah, I haven't.
All right. Well, it's been a short meeting. We're at 24 minutes now.
Do we want to,
Adjourn?
do we want to
Second.
schedule something,
We should schedule
the-
the next meeting.
Okay.
and then maybe, like, the next meeting will start down at the landing, at the point?
No, I think that I may be in touch with you sooner than that,
Okay,
because we
okay.
need to get moving on that.
Yeah,
Just
right.
for an
I think that-
afternoon, where it's reasonable weather. And you're leaving town for what, 2 weeks?
March 3rd through the 18th.
March 3rd to 18th.
19th.
No, Brian. And
What's that?
I'm out of here the 6th through the 19th.
Oh, it's March?
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice of you to arrange them about the same time. Yeah.
6th to the
On the
19th
first
is
or
Richie.
fifth?
First to the 5th, okay.
You're going away?
March 1st to 5th,
Get away.
just for a little getaway.
I think we're looking at something after the 20th.
Yep. Okay.
Well, that's March, right?
Yeah.
Or February. Oh, you mean for a regular meeting, right. Sorry.
And does that have to be posted if we all show up?
Wait, we could meet in February, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Right. So today is the 19th.
Today's the 17th, right?
Okay. Yeah.
today's the 17th.
Whoops. So February 14th tentatively, that's a Tuesday.
Valentine's Day,
Oh,
according to this calendar.
Ouch.
excuse me.
I don't care.
No, I do. Okay, how about the 21st? And
Can do that.
is 4:30 workable for people still? I
Yeah.
know you,
Yep, it's okay then.
Yep.
The winter time, it's fine.
okay. And,
On Tuesdays.
yes, and we may have Ryan here for that.
If necessary.
You're gonna try to do an on-site?
Before that.
Yeah, okay.
And we actually, I mean, we don't absolutely have to post it if it's informational.
Right.
We don't make any decisions, so to speak. All right. Well, this has been wonderful. Very efficient today.
So now we'll entertain your motion to adjourn.
Yep. You gonna move it?
Is there a second?
Second.
I made the motion, he seconded it.
All in favor of adjourning?
Hey, 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 hey.